Okay, so we just got down the allotment and today we're going to be planting an orchard. So we're going to be clearing the area, we're going to be laying out where the trees are going to go, then we're going to be planting / replanting them and a bit of pruning of them as well. So hopefully in the summer we'll have a bit of fruit, maybe. Okay, check back in 6 months for that. Okay, so here we go. Wood I've hauled from various landscaping jobs, some of which quite a few years ago. It's time for it to go to the burn pile, minus the still usable bits. Obviously I'm not a monster. This is a pile of, I don't know where to put yous. Do you reckon I could pick it up? That was heavy. Right, so we've got to move these beasts. Alright, time for the big boy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was really heavy. Right, nearly done. Just going to give the air a quick rake, then we're ready. So here's our area, and here's our trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half. So most of the trees that you buy are not on their own rootstocks, i.e. they've been cut and stuck onto another tree's roots. Generally there's two main reasons why you want to graft another tree's roots to your own. That's speed to fruit, so the time it takes from when you've planted the tree to its first crop, and the size, so if you want to have a big tree or a small tree. So you can go all the way from dwarfing to own root trees. So there are exceptions, but generally the more dwarfing route you go, so the smaller the tree, the more reliant it is on you. So it has to be staked its whole life, it has to be mulched, it has to be, you have to be more careful with disease. To own root trees, so they're on their own rootstock, they're much taller, they're much slower to crop, and they are much more resistant to disease, etc. And you don't have to stake them their whole life, and you don't have to mulch them their whole life. So the old-fashioned way is own root. The modern way is more dwarfing. We've gone in the middle. So we've got MM106 or St. Julian A, which is semi-vigorous. So they won't need to stake their whole life, but for the first part of their life they do, and they're going to be 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 before they're cropped. So will we get one this year? If you carry on watching, we probably will. Right, it's time to set out the trees, and we're going to keep them quite heavily pruned, so they only really need to be about 2-ish meters apart. But the question is, do we set them out in nice straight lines, or do we set them out a bit more randomly or intuitively than that? I think the latter, but let's see what naturally takes shape when we start setting them out on this little patch of land. It's time to dig them up and replant them. Some of these trees are planted in bags in the ground because when I first got it, I was not sure if I was going to use them for a job or have to take them and put them somewhere else. So I planted them in pots in the ground, pots or bags in the ground. That was easy, but most of them will be coming out today and going properly in the ground now. So that is the bare root. We replanted within a couple of minutes. It'll be just fine. Okay, trees are out, in position, time to plant them. Okay, so I use the graft to break up the ground and then the shovel or spade to flick it out. So we're after square holes, not round holes. That way when the tree's roots meet a corner, they go into the ground rather than wrapping round and sticking in the hole you've dug. Okay, so planting bare root trees. So a lot of people say dig a big hole and mix that with the compost and the soil. But I go with small hole, get the roots in there, as I think this encourages the tree to spread its roots where you want them. Right, so I'm just going to weed these trees now that we haven't moved and clear the area around them and put some mulch on. Right, so we made our stake and we know the prevailing wind is coming from that direction. So we're going to drive it in the opposite way. You'll see what I mean. I like to be loose and individual when it comes to pruning. There are a lot of rules and particular ways to do things, but I like the individuality of a tree pruned by a particular gardener. There's crossover between sculpture and horticulture when it's just me and the tree. I do, however, stick to these golden rules. Everything's always a third, so if you're not sure, take a third off. Always have clean secateurs, always take too much off, and always take away any diseased or damaged wood, crossing wood so where it's rubbing, or any branches that are obviously going in the wrong direction. But aside from that, I'm pretty loose and I just enjoy it. enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. Fingers crossed for some fruit in the summer. I'll leave you with this outro accompanied with some music that's made especially for this video by my best mate Paddy D, as always.